effects are, of course, a big concern for recipients of the vaccine. To address her patients' fears, top Philadelphia physician documented her journey.
Yes, Dr. Caudle is a family medicine physician who received the Moderna vaccine, and now hundreds of thousands are waiting and watching her video diary. She joins us now to talk about it. Good morning, Dr. Caudle.
Good morning.
All right, so you documented how you felt 27, 48, 72 hours after receiving the vaccine. Walk us through what you experienced.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on. It's great to see you guys. This has been honestly the honor of my life. You know, I've been waiting with bated breath to get this vaccine. It's such a prideful moment for me as a physician. So honestly, I actually filmed myself getting the vaccine. I got it. It looks like it's the right arm, but I actually got it in the left arm. The camera is flipped. So I got the vaccine in my left arm. I didn't even feel the needle go in, to be honest with you. It was a physician colleague that administered the vaccine to me. I did my sort of mandatory waiting 15 minutes after to make sure I wasn't having any allergic reactions on the day that I got the vaccine. And honestly, I walked out feeling great. The only thing I ever felt, and now I'm at day 5 after the vaccine, so this was about 5 days ago, the only thing I ever felt was soreness in my left arm. And, you know, that was probably the worst on the night that I got the vaccine, the next day afterwards, but it really started subsiding by day 3. Yesterday, I had hardly any pain, and today, when I feel my arm, I don't feel anything at all. So I didn't have any of the headaches, the myalgias, low-grade fever. I feel like myself, so I feel really grateful.
Said, because it's very telling. You said it was such an honor of your life, and so you were so prideful to be able to get this vaccine. Talk to me about that, because there's so many people within the Black and brown community who are a little weary of this vaccine, to be quite honest.
Absolutely. And let me just address that for a moment. I mean, you know, racial health disparities, systemic racism, the long history of Black and brown people being exploited and sort of misused, abused in the healthcare system is well documented and is very real. So the skepticism and some of the fears and the concerns are absolutely warranted. What we have to understand is with this vaccine, this is a very safe and effective vaccine. And while we have a lot of work to do on racial health disparities, we, you know, in moving forward, our health system has to sort of acknowledge these and also make things better, right? Make things better for everyone, not just Black and brown people. So I do want to say that there are many people who are skeptical for different reasons, whether they're Black or brown or not. A lot of people are concerned about side effects of the vaccine. There are myths running rampant on the internet saying that the vaccine will cause, it will change your DNA, it will cause you to be sterile, it will give you COVID, etc. And of course, these are myths. They are not true. You know, that's, I think, one of the biggest problems with this vaccine and with COVID in general is that it's not just the virus that we've been sort of fighting. We've also been fighting mis and disinformation, which I think has existed a lot with the COVID vaccine. So, yeah, it's very important for me, and it has been for me to document not only talking about COVID and giving education information, but to document my journey with the vaccine. I'll get the second dose January 21st. That's 28 days after my first dose, which is when I'm scheduled to get it. I will be documenting that, and I'm keeping people updated because I want them to know that this is a safe and effective vaccine, and it's something I do recommend to my family, friends, my patients who certainly qualify.
So right now, Dr. Caudle, you are what, 5 or so days removed from getting that first vaccine. January 21st, you'll get the second. So at that point, you will be fully vaccinated. Do you anticipate yourself kind of lowering your guard at that point, or will you still conduct yourself in the same manner, wearing your mask and social distancing?
That's a really great question. So, you know, it's actually going to take 1 to 2 weeks or so after my second dose for full protection to sort of take effect. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit of time. But even at that point, I will still be wearing my mask. I will still be social distancing. I will not be traveling. You know, I have not traveled. I haven't been on a plane in over 10 months, and I don't anticipate that. Of course, you know, if travel is necessary, that's one thing, but unnecessary travel, we don't recommend. Hand washing, all that kind of stuff. And the reason why is because, well, there's a few reasons why. Number one is that, you know, not everyone is able to get the vaccine at this time, right? We're still rolling this out. But we also know that this vaccine prevents severe illness from COVID, but we're not entirely sure what that means for being an asymptomatic carrier, if that's still a possibility. Those are just two of many reasons why I will be wearing masks and social distancing and doing all this stuff that still needs to be done. That's very important. It's going to be important for all of us, certainly in these beginning stages of getting this vaccine.
Hey, quickly, if you could, break this down and give us some perspective here, because each year we get a flu vaccine, right? It changes each year. There are different, types of flus that we get, and they morph into different things like we're seeing with the COVID-19. But people aren't as scared of the flu vaccine. And is it true that the flu vaccine isn't as effective as what we're seeing that the COVID vaccine being some 95% effective?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right sort of about both points. You mentioned sort of the flu. We do get an annual flu vaccine. People have been asking me, my followers, et cetera, if we're going to have a yearly COVID-19 vaccine. Well, I think the jury is still out on this. I'm not sure that we actually know quite yet. But in terms of the idea of strains mutating and changing and things like that, we know that happens with viruses. That happens with the flu. It happens with other viruses as well. That is one of the things that we're seeing with these different COVID strains that we're seeing overseas in the UK and France and other things like that. There are different strains. Once again, whether we will need a yearly vaccine or not, we'll have to sort of see. So I think that's really sort of important to keep in mind. I think when it comes to and actually remind me of your second question, because it
was just about the flu vaccine not being as effective as, say, the COVID vaccine, because you got a 95% effective rate.
Right. That's right. This vaccine has exceeded our expectations. It is very effective, and it's one of the most exciting things about it.
All right, Dr. Caudle, thank you so much for your time and your important information as you really journal your journey here, because that's important for people to see.
Thank you.